After losing out now to Chinese companies in overseas acquisitions, the government is building a new strategy to help Indian companies for overseas acquisitions. Supriya Sreenath now joins us with all the details. Supriya, first of all, which companies has lost out in the recent past and what kind of support is the government ready to give the Indian companies at this point?
Oh, it is no rocket science absolutely to figure out which companies have lost out. We're talking about big oil giants like OVL, who constantly compete with Chinese firms for overseas acquisition. And we figured out, and we've been speaking to very, very senior management both ONGC and OVL, and they've said that the Chinese companies are very, very aggressive. And they come with deal sweeteners, which essentially means the entire might of the government is really behind one single company to go ahead and make that overseas acquisition for their energy security. Now, what happens really in India is there's lots of red tapeism. The government decision body, the government decision happens at the level of the cabinet, and most ministers have to get in and make those decisions, which essentially delays the procedure, and which is why companies like OVL and ONGC have in the past lost out on these bids. However, the government is very clear now, it's very certain that for its energy security, it has to go ahead and make these overseas acquisitions. They will be following the Chinese model essentially, which means not just equity participation, but you sweeten the deal. You put something more on the table besides the cash that you put in, which essentially can entail building of railways, ports, roads, all of that in another country. And what better place than Africa to tap for that market, because Africa, as we all know, is a developing market. It's an emerging market and would need deal sweeteners like these, which really swing the deal in favor of the big Chinese major. And the government is certainly looking at exploiting some of its might by doing something similar.